Hello, hello, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Mamás Latinas radio show here in Ahora, Canada, and Go Live TV. And we have a very exciting program today. It's a very common questions that all mothers have when we have our first baby or maybe our second baby or our first baby here in Canada. And for this topic, we are going to talk about how to register a baby. And today, I have the pleasure to be with Tania Borja and Rosa Guadarrama. Tania, you know her because she's here the first Monday of the month. She's coming from the Stop Community Center for the Healthy Beginning program. She's the coordinator there. And welcome, Tania. Welcome to be here. Thank you for being here today.
Hi, Miriam. Hi, everybody. It's always a pleasure to be here. Thank you for the invitation. Yes, I'm really happy, and also I'm really have an enormous pleasure to be here with Rosa Guadarrama as well. She is in behalf of TNG Community Services, which is a partner, an agency partner of the Stop Community Food Center, and also to the Healthy Beginnings program. Thank you, Rosa. Welcome. I'm just going to say really quickly who Rosa is. And also it's a Thursday, the first Thursday of the month. We changed our day just recently. So Rosa Guadarrama, she is settlement worker at St. Stephen's Community House since 15 years ago. She's also a mother of two kids. Now they're not so young anymore. They're 15 and 14. Years old. She is a communications, she has a bachelor degree in communications with specialty in TV, actually. And she was working in TV in Mexico for 20 years. She's also a dancer, and she's a great dancer. I've seen her in action. She does some Mexican folklore, and she is part of the group Puro Mexico. And I'm really happy for Rosa to be here today. She's a wonderful settlement worker, and she supports a lot of families that are new to Canada. She helps them with anything that has to do with making sure that they feel good and welcome, and they have a good settlement once they come to this country. Welcome, Rosa. Thank you for being here, and thank you for talking to for speaking with the audience and with us about this important topic today. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's really a pleasure to be here. I'm so happy. I just wanna try to share a little bit of my experience and try to help the moms, like just to know what is the process and all the questions that they have, and just to try to solve it. And if you have any other question or future questions, I'll be here at any time that they want me to.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Rosa. Did I say it right? Your title? It's a TNG Community Services, right? And you are a settlement worker.
At the neighborhood group, St. Stephen's Community House.
Great. Thank you, Rosa.
Rosa, thank you for being here today. Thank you, Tania, for presenting us to Rosa and being here every Thursday of the month, the first Thursday of the month. Thank you. And Rosa, new moms comes to Canada, new persons come to Canada, some with children, some become mothers here in Canada. And one of the questions that always happen is, how do I register my kid, my child, for a birth certificate? How can they do that? Anybody can do it at the hospital, at home, online, in person. How that works?
Okay, when birth certification, registration, and birth certificate is a process that you can do it in two different ways. When you have the baby, it could be at the hospital, it could be with a midwife in a birth center, or it could be at home with the help with the midwife. So you will receive as soon as the baby is born all the information about the how all details about the baby, how the baby weight, the physician helped to the labor and delivery, and all this information that you have to keep it safe. Also, the hospital or the midwife, they will give you a paper that you need to fill up. It's an application that you return to the hospital or to the midwife. So this information they will send it. This is first for to get the health care for the baby, and then you will receive the detached paper and all the in your discharge form from the hospital. You will have all the information that then you will need to register the baby. So there is two ways, if you do it on paper or you do it online. We have like a bundle that is a 5-in-1 bundle that you can do it online. This is the register. For this, for the registration of the birth certificate, it's very important that before you start with any paperwork that you are gonna do with your baby, you have to be sure that the baby's name is correct. You have to agree with your partner or the person who is registering the baby. What is the name? This is a very common mistake that usually that they are not agreed. You are gonna put one last name or two last name or one name, two names, and the spelling. You have to make sure, because all the information that you are gonna do with the baby's registration and birth certificate is gonna be in all legal documents. So that is very, very important. Another thing that is very important before you start is, if you are going to move from one place to another place, you need to give the mailing address from the new address. If, for example, if within 2 months you are going to move, you just provide the new address, or otherwise it's going to be like you need to change all the information. And another thing that you need to have before you register your baby is have your income tax field. So you will need that, because in this process that you do it online, 5-in-1, you apply for 5 different things. One is the birth registration, the birth certificate, the social insurance number, the Canada Child Benefits, and the RESP. They provide you some advice for if you want to open an account for your kids' education in the future. So in this case, we're going to start with the registration. The paper that you will receive from the hospital or the midwife, they come with the name of the child, the name of the hospital, the name of the doctor or midwife. It comes with the sex and the weight of the child, the number of weeks of the birth parent when it was pregnant, and some this information you will receive in the release form. And obviously you have to put the parent's legal food name in that paper as well. So to register your baby has to be, preferably has to be within 30 days of the birth. Is good, it's better that you do it that way, otherwise it's another process. So this the any parent name of the registration has to be present in when you register the baby. If you are going to do it online, both of them, they have to be in front of the computer, and because both of them, they have to agree with the information that you are doing, put it in the computer. So the website is www.ontario.ca, and then is slash page slash register birth new baby. So I can send you this information that you can attach in the program later. So, but in this case, you are gonna register your baby. You are gonna get the birth certificate, the social insurance number, as I told you, the Canada Child Benefit, including the Ontario Child Benefits, and the registered education saving plans that are RESP referrals. So in this case, when you go to the website, you are gonna see that there are two options to register your baby. One is when you do click in the option one, it means that you are gonna apply for the five different services. And if you apply for the option two, you are gonna pick whatever you wanna do in that registration. And this is because depending on your immigration status, you might be not able to use the option one. If you are, for example, a work permit, or if you are a student, or you don't have like a visit, you are visitor, or you don't have status, depending on that is the selection that you have to do. For the birth certificate, I don't know if you want me to stop there or.
Yeah, you know, you are doing the interview by yourself, so I'm just checking all my questions here, like check, 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 check,
Yeah.
check. And that can be very good because you are giving more information that I thought I will need to ask you, and that's great. So we will put the page that you said, the address on the comments of this video for our parents, like they can go and check it. I know it's two birth certificates. What's the difference between the long and the small, and which one is better to have?
Okay. Actually, there are like three different forms. The birth certificate is the short form that it includes the neighbors the newborns information, and is recommended for those over 16 years. So with this short form is just like type of card that they can use it after the 16 years old, just to apply for general passport, social insurance number, Ontario driver license. You can keep it in your wallet all the time. So that is the thing. The second one, it comes like with the short form, but with parental information. It comes with the name and place of birth, the parent listed in the birth registration. They can be used for a child general passport, child health insurance. So it could be for a minor or under 16 years old. Okay, for this type. And the long form, it includes all detail of the birth registration, and shows also any changes that you might do. If, for example, if you want to change your name or your last name, all the changes that you do for the birth registration, they are going to be showing there. And also they will be, you can use it for visas application, immigration status, or in citizen application. If you want to adopt in a child abroad in the future, applying for any Indian status in case they ask for that. So the long form, for example, if you have a double citizenship, and you, as a Latin, you can apply for another country citizen, they will ask for the long form. So in this case, it's up to you, like which one you are gonna use. But the most complete form is the long form that you will use for anything. The another one, they are optional, and they you can be used that. And also they have a different prices, so you can get only one of each, but only one time. If you lose it or anything happen with the birth certificate, as soon as you require another one, the previous one is canceled. So the short form is $25. The short form with the parental information is 25, and the long form is 35, depending on which one you want. But it's only of one of each.
Oh, that's interesting to know. I didn't know there were three types of birth certificate. That's very important. How many names? We talk about the names and the last names. How many last names the child can have in the birth certificate, and how many names? Because here is usually is only one last name, but we as a Latin, we use two last name. What we should do?
Depending on your culture and your tradition, and is you can put two names, you can put two last name. They will ask you why. and you have to put like it's a cultural tradition or depending on your reason, but you can do it. Another thing that I suggest is just keep it simple. Like in Canada, as you said, it's only the first name and the last name. So sometimes in organizations or anywhere you go, you have to be careful that always have your forename. Like for example, my name is Rosa Ofelia Garcia Guadarrama. So I have four. So in this case, I have to make sure that in my driver license put the four names, and then in my passport the four name, my OHIP in four. Like you have to be careful because they just put Rosa Garcia, for example, no. So and then all the legal documents they are gonna be kind of different. So that is the only thing that I suggest. If you can keep it simple, if you want both last name, is okay, depending on what depending on the preference of the parents. Some people they put like half in it, like just a little line between the last names, the two last names, just to keep it as a one, like I always show in all documents. But it's up to them. But you have to make sure that whatever you put in your birth registration has to be in all your legal documents everywhere, even if they become citizen or permanent residents or whatever it is, has to be the same one.
So parents, we need to be very thankful about that when we think about the name of the child, because maybe for us it sounds very nice, but it's very long for them in the future. Imagine if you have two last names, two names, and a middle name. So it's going to be too much for them when they ask you to write it down. Rosa, how long takes for a birth certificate to arrive home?
Okay, depending on how you do it. If you do it in a regular way, like in paper, so you will receive in the hospital of the midwife the application to do it, to fill up at home for the birth registration. In this case, you have to go home and fill up the paper and send it to the specific address, and then you have to wait at least 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks to come back. And then you have to apply for the birth certificate, and then wait another 4 or 5 weeks to come back, and then you have to apply for the social insurance. So this process it could take you up to 6 months if you do it on paper. If you do it online, online is around 15 business days in the registration of birth certificate, and up to 6 or 8 weeks for the Canada Child Benefits and the social insurance number, like depending of the paper that you are document you are applying is the timing, but it's not as up to 8 weeks. I could say everything.
So if you can do it online, I suggest for you to do it online because seems like it's the faster and the easier. Tania, you have too many interaction with new moms, with newborns. What are the most common questions for them in this issue?
Well, just listening to what Rosa was saying, I actually have a question of my own. You were saying that when you apply online, you have a bundle, and then you get 5 different things at once. However, you said that you need to have your income tax filed. And my concern will be, how about those people that have no immigration status, that they don't file their taxes? How can they apply for a birth certificate or social insurance number or health card for their babies online? Is there a way, or they have to go with the paper process?
No, no, it's the way. Like I remember at the beginning, you have two options. When you start your birth registration, you have option one, that is all five applications are selected by default. And the option two that you apply, you put in the link, you choose the birth registration and it's selected for like exactly what you want to do. For example, for those who they don't have like a permanent resident, like they are not living permanently in Canada, they need to select option two. So that it means that is gonna be the birth registration, the birth certificate, and that's it. Yeah, because for the social insurance number, you must be a permanent resident, or you have a citizen. And for the Canada Child Benefits, you need to be a permanent resident or citizen, so you cannot get those things. So if you don't have a permanent status in Canada, you cannot apply for child benefits, Canada Child Benefits, or social insurance number. It's only the baby registration and the birth certificate.
If you don't have status in Canada, then you cannot have your baby registered. But no, thank you for clarifying that, because that's important, and that would be one of the questions that will come. I will think from our participants, because a lot of participants that we serve, not a lot, but definitely an important amount of them have no status, and so that's important to know.
Yes, Rosa, and
Yes.
so one of the questions that I have here is to apply for care card doesn't matter in this case if the parent have status or don't. So they don't ask that question, they just ask for the kid to be born here, and that's it. So the parents don't need to be afraid to get the health card for the baby even if they don't have status in Canada?
Depending on each situation, the baby is born in Canada, and they are entitled to be Canadian because just born here. But for those that they don't have a status, they might need to prove another things, like how long has been they have been in the country, and there are another different documents that they need to show. But in theory, the baby can get the OHIP. But these processes, for example, when the baby is born in the hospital or with the midwife, you fill up a form, and with the name of the parents and the baby, the name of the baby if you have the name already. And at the bottom of the form, there is a part that you can detach. It comes with a number and the name of the baby. If you don't have the name, you just put baby. And then with this paper, this is already your number for a hip, okay, for the card. And then you can take the baby to any doctor with this paper, and the card you will receive the card later, like approximately in 5 weeks, over the mail.
Okay.
Okay. And another thing is, if you don't have the name of the baby at the moment that the baby was born, you just put baby. But as soon as you have the name, you need to change the name baby to for the real name. This has to be done as soon as possible. Otherwise, you won't get the card by mail until you put the baby's name. So you can do it over the phone, and then you will receive the card right away.
For clarifying all these questions that we have, and I'm sure these questions, a lot of you moms have them or know somebody that may have this question because they are pregnant and they are lost in translation. Sorry for the joke.
No, it's okay.
And so the birth certificate is one time. The health card. The health card have a expiration date. So
Yes.
we need to change it. Is the same process, or how can we renew that health card, or
You can
automatic?
do it. Sorry, no, you can do it online. The health card is valid for 5 years, and then you need to like a renew. You can do it online if you don't if they don't ask you for a picture. Otherwise, you have to go to Service Canada to do this there. So for a baby, babies though they don't have picture, so the health card is gonna be sent automatically because they don't need a picture. But for adults that you need to take a picture, you can do it directly in Service Ontario. And then for kids 15 years and a half and older, they must have the picture done. So they have to go to Service Canada to do the health card.
Okay. So I have one question that maybe you have also, Tania. So when those 5 papers that you said that in the hospital they give you, the whole hospital, they need to give you those papers, or you need to ask for those forms for them to give it to you?
The forms for the
For
health
the
card.
birth certificate and the social insurance number and the health card and everything, you mentioned, she mentioned something about the package that they give you in the hospital. Do the
Exactly.
moms need to ask? Because maybe that is a question that your girls have also in your program, Tania, because they go with you when they are pregnant. So they need to ask at the hospital, or the hospital need to give it to them, or the midwife need to give it to them, or they need to ask?
It's like both ways. The hospital has to give you a release form from the hospital. In that release form, it has to be included all this paperwork, even the health card paper, like the detached paper. They have to give it to you, but you have to know exactly what to expect. So you need to know exactly that you have to have the all the information of your baby, the physician, how the baby weighs and everything. So if they don't give it to you right away, or depending of the staff that is working at the hospital or a midwife, you should ask for that. You need to have papers before you leave the hospital that include the release form and the OHIP, the health card information. Okay, if you don't get it, you just ask for them, but usually they give it to you before you leave.
Right.
So it's nothing like they say I forgot. No, I don't think so.
Definitely, we need to be proactive. Parents need to be proactive in getting what they need. And also, I just wanted to acknowledge that not all births happen at the hospital. Some births can happen at birth centers, some births happen at home. And definitely, there's always a healthcare practitioner involved. So do ask your midwife or your doctor, whoever is taking care of your birth, to provide you with this information, because it's important to, I know it gets really crazy when we're new parents and we have a new baby, and so many things to think about, and tired and exhausted and all of that, but it's very important to think of those details, because those are the important things that we need to take care of right after birth. One thing that I like to just address is the importance, perhaps, of choosing the long version of the birth certificate instead of the short ones, because a lot of us are from other countries, and when you would like to apply for dual citizenship for your kids, this is the one document that they are going to be asking, the long certificate. And also you need to actually, what's the word? I think it's authentication. There's another step that you need to do in order for you to use that birth certificate, long version of it, to apply for other documents in your country or other countries. So very important, do invest the extra $10. Is if it's only $35, I would suggest just do it. And we do have that service at the stop. Now we have just recently opened an ID clinic for our community members. So if you need some help with processing your birth certificates, long or short, we can help you with that. And that's another service that we are offering as well at Healthy Beginnings.
Thank you, Tania. Thank you for everything. Rosa, thank you so much. The time is over. Sorry. This topic is very important and it's very extended. So, Rosa, if somebody have a question, where they can reach you?
Uh, they can reach me and my email is rosa.rama at tngcs.org.
Thank you so much. I will put that also in the comments. If you have a question, you can ask Rosa, you can ask Tania. And thank you. I appreciate both of my people that are here today, my invites that are here, my guest. Thank you. I was looking for that word. Thank you for my guest for being here today. Thank you, everybody, for listening and pass this program because I'm sure someone needs this information. And I see you next Thursday. Have a great summer. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you, Rosa.
Bye bye.
Thank you,
Thank
Miriam.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.